Temptation, it lies beside me. Titties and give and take. Thoughts tend to spin, make me so crazy. Why did I do this again? Sometimes it makes me wonder, is there a door still open? I can't wait any longer. Do you believe?
Hello and a very warm welcome to Charlton TV and to the Addicts YouTube channel for this afternoon's FA Championship clash between Charlton and Athletic and Blackburn Rovers. My name is Charlotte Richardson and it's absolutely fantastic to have your company today. It's been a very busy weekend for the football club. After the men's team's 2-2 draw at the Valley, our attention now turns to a massive game for our women's side in the FA Championship. Blackburn Rovers are the visitors to the Oakwood this afternoon, and as you can see, fans are filtering their way through to get their seats to watch what should be an absolutely cracking game of football. The international break has given Karen Hill's side plenty of time on the training ground. They've been working hard and further adds to the anticipation for what should be, like I say, a really good game in the second tier of the English women's football pyramid. If you are tuned in, please do let us know where you're listening in from, where you're watching in from. It'd be fantastic to hear from you. You can engage with our club's Twitter. It's the handle CAFC Women. That's CAFC Women. We would love to hear from you, see your messages of support for the team as they look to make it 2 wins out of 2 at home this afternoon. The last time we were here at the Oakwood, of course, a little bit of history was made. Charlton picked up an opening day win of the season, their first victory as a full-time professional outfit under the helm of owner Thomas Sangard. There's a renewed energy, there's a renewed vigour around this women's team at the moment. Lots of new faces bedding into the team, and this afternoon is another 90 minutes for Karen Hill to bring those players in. There are a couple of changes to the starting 11, which I will talk you through very, very shortly. A tough trip to Durham was the last time Karen Hill's side played. It was a 2-0 loss on the road, but the international break has given the team the opportunity to get back together, to regroup, and they want to come out the blocks firing. I was listening to Karen's interview in the middle of the week, talking about the style of football that she really wants to demonstrate to Charlton supporters who have made the trip today, playing with a dynamism up front, off of the front foot, and it will be really interesting to see if the girls can get off of the blocks like they did on the last time, with Ella Rutherford giving the team the lead with less than a minute on the clock. That's the kind of opening we are hoping for as we wait for the 2 teams to make their way onto the field of play. As I mentioned, the manager has made 2 changes to the 11 who started against Durham. Jess King was introduced in that defeat in place of Alicia Sulula, and she is keeping her place in the starting 11, and the experienced Vianne Sampson is handed a start with former Brighton midfielder Holly Olding on the bench. You can hear a ripple of applause as both teams make their way onto the field of play. The Addicts, of course, in the traditional red and white kits, and Blackburn Rovers in their home strip as well, the half and half blue and white. Now, as the teams make their way onto the pitch, that gives me the perfect opportunity to talk you through the starting 11s for both teams. As I mentioned, Karen Hills has made 2 changes to her starting 11, but Urfa Cummins is keeping her spot, the number 13, in between the sticks. Rachel Newbury skippers the Addicts this afternoon. Vianne Simpson is the first of those 2 changes, alongside Anna Philby, Jess Kin, Megan Wynne, Elise Hughes, Kira Scales, Ella Rutherford, Beth Rowe and Hannah Godfrey complete the starting 11. But there is plenty of strength and depth in this Charlton squad, and on the bench this afternoon, number 1, Sophie Hilliard, Holly Holding, Emma Follis, Alicia Sulula, Lois Roch, Lois Hugman and Mia Ross. Paving our attention to Blackburn Rovers now. Their starting 11 is as follows: Alexandra Brooks, Natasha Fenton, Helen Seed, Jade Richards, Emma Doyle, and number 9, Saffron Jordan leads the lineup for them. Annabelle Blanchard, Megan Hornby, Kaylee McDonald, Hannah Cohn, Farah Crompton complete that lineup. And on the bench for our visitors this afternoon, number 13, Eleanor Heaps, number 7, Chloe Dixon, number 16, Mia Parry, number 17, Millie Chandarana, number 21, Lauren Thomas, and finally, number 23, Ellie Leake. Now, we are only a few games into the season, so league positions don't mean too much at this stage of the season. But for those of you who perhaps are tuning in for the first time, maybe not even that familiar with the women's scene as of yet, Charlton currently sit in 9th position. They're coming up against a Blackburn team currently in 3rd. But Charlton have only played 2 games, whilst Blackburn have notched up 3 games so far. That was, of course, because there was a delay to the Addicts' start of their campaign. They were due to play Lewis, but unfortunately an outbreak of COVID in the camp meant that there was a slight delay. And the referee for this afternoon's match. And the officials doing the pre-match routine. Referee Jade Wardle will be managing the game, and she is assisted by Isabel Chaplin and Adriana Booker. The fourth official this afternoon is Russell Jones. The skipper there, Rachel Newbury, just making her way back to the team. They say their final messages, and just knowing again how important it will be this afternoon to get off to a good start in the same manner they did, of course, when they beat Coventry just a few weeks ago, 3-1 at the Oakwood. The team are really focused on making the Oakwood the home of a VCD Athletic. For those of you that might not be aware, they want to make it a fortress, really build some solid foundations for their campaign in the Women's Championship. It was a bit of a stop-start campaign due to COVID over the last few years, but of course this is now a professional team, and that is such a positive step for this football club. The move to a professional full-time model means that the girls get the same access to the same training facilities, full-time model, which is only going to help the women and girls game at Charlton Athletic moving forward. It's incredibly exciting, and I cannot wait to watch the team in action for the next 90 minutes. It's going to be the Addicts who kick-start proceedings this afternoon. As they take their knee. A symbol we are all very familiar with as we continue to use football as a tool to raise awareness and tackle inequalities and racism in our society. As you can see, the girls are well pumped up for this one, and we are off. Ball falling at the feet of Scales. It's a long ball forward to the right-hand flank. Early pressure from the Addicts, driving the ball towards the corner flag. It's going to be a throw-in. And Blackburn have gotten off to a good start to their campaign so far as well. They had an opening day victory against Sheffield United, then went and played Sunderland and lost 2-0 there, but bounced back with a 3-1 victory against Watford, and they're currently level on points with second place Sheffield United and 1 point behind the leaders Sunderland. But for now, it's Charlton who have an opportunity early doors with less than a minute on the clock to test the visitors from a set piece. We've been talking about the time that Karen Hills has spent with her team on the training ground. Can they produce a routine? The ball is played short. Rutherford there with a great, looking to get a great early ball in there, but there's a good block. It's Charlton trying to mop up the seconds, but Blackburn carry the ball away now to mount a charge of their own. And the tackle comes in from behind there, and Megan Wynn, I think she knew exactly what she was doing just to prevent the counter-attack there. Taking one for the team, I think, is the expression that we use there. But Blackburn showing their threat as well on the counter-attack there. And Wynn tracking back, doing her defensive duties whilst the team found their shape. And now they have to do some defending from an early set piece. Kaylee McDonald just waiting for her teammates to get in position. And Blackburn on a bit of a journey of their own in terms of their women and girls football development. They are managed by Gemma Donnelly, who's been there for 16 seasons, a long-serving manager. 7 of them she's been spent in the full-time role as the first team manager. She manages the whole of their women and girls elite pathway. The ball is whipped in towards the penalty spot. It's headed away well. Ball finding itself at the feet of Crompton. Crompton trying to navigate some space there. She's held up. That's a crunching tackle from Hannah Godfrey. Strong tackle. Referee sees absolutely nothing wrong with it now, and now it's Rutherford charging forward. She's surrounded by blue and white shirts. Already you can see the kind of battle that we can look forward to over the next 90 minutes here. Full commitment from both teams in the challenge. And that was a good tackle there to stop Rutherford on her way forward. And it was just on the 5th of September that Charlton played and won their first professional game as a football club. Talking about the move that Thomas Sangard made, marking this weekend his first year as owner here of Charlton Athletic, taking ownership not only of the men's team but the women's team, and the one club mentality at the football club is ever so impressive. and the team have moved into full-time contracts. They get to train at the same facility as the men's team. And it really does make a huge difference to the provision and the quality of football for the women's team. Can they make it 2 wins out of 2 at the Oakwood this afternoon? Direct ball through the middle of the pitch, trying to find the path of Hannah Cohn, but that's read well again by Godfrey. Win on the ball, getting the deflection there, and it's just fantastic to see Megan Wynne playing football again after suffering such an awful ACL injury. Wynne is going to be a huge player for Charlton as the season unfolds, and getting that match fitness, building up into match tempo is so important. She's already got some useful touches on the ball so far this afternoon. Long may that continue as she goes forward to offer a short option to the skipper. Just going to take a little bit longer. Rachel Newbury just to assess. Plays it short to Wynne. Wynne just having to show some physical shouldering of the ball there, but she does lose it, and Blackburn are able to mount a charge down the left-hand flank. Good defending from the skipper there. Finds Godfrey back to Cummins. Good play from out the back here, and one of the substitutions that the manager did elect to make was introducing Vianne Sampson into the starting 11 this afternoon. Maybe perhaps a bit more experience anchoring the Charlton defence this afternoon. She comes with so much pedigree to Sampson, having played a lot of her football at higher levels of the game. Plenty of experience through the Arsenal Academy setup, and then she moved to West Ham, and subsequently after that, London City Lionesses. She's an England international as well, and that kind of pedigree and experience helps a team that is still gelling together. There were plenty of new faces over the summer, lots of recruitment done. 7 players were retained from the squad previously, but with 14 new signings, it's been a busy summer. Ball played long and direct down the right-hand flank. Wynne trying to give chase to it, and there's a good block again. It's going to be a throw-in for Blackburn.
Get them to come here. Stay back from the line, please.
They've kept a couple of clean sheets so far this season, so they are a robust and organised defensive unit. But with Jess King and the likes of Ella Rutherford leading the charge for the Addicts, I'd like to think there'll be chances aplenty this afternoon. Plenty of pressure there put on the combination of Wynne and King there. An early press. And that's exactly what Karen Hills was talking about in her pre-match press conference, really wanting the team, particularly at home, to begin games on the front foot, and that kind of tenacity and high press up the pitch is going to be really important for the Addicts there. As Blackburn are awarded the foul. Anna Philby just climbing over her player somewhat there. Relatively easy decision for the referee to make. As Charlton resume their defensive position, get their shape behind the ball.
Step into it, step into it.
And a sliced effort out is rescued there by Kaylee McDonald. She's done well for her team, but some good reading of the game from Rowe. Rowe finds Sampson. Sampson not wanting to be boxed in there. Some good quick passing out of a tight angle. This is good stuff from Charlton. It's a sloppy ball though, picked up by Richards. Gap emerging, but the keeper comes off her line. Alexandra Brooks clears that, but only so far as Wynne. Can Charlton just keep the ball down here and build up play, a bit of patience in attack, and that's a good little nudge around Emma Doyle by Rowe there down that left-hand flank. That's what you expect now with the modern-day fullback, doing their defensive duties just a few moments ago and then bombing forward and getting involved in the attacking play as well, and that is something that Beth Rowe offers in abundance. The Charlton number 22 will take the throw-in for the Addicts now. Rutherford with the ball in the corner. It's going to be a throw-in. But Rowe, King and Rutherford all trying to box Blackburn into their corner there, see if they can pick up possession, making it really, really difficult for Blackburn to get the ball out of their third, and that's exactly what they've done now. And King on the ball, trying to get a little flick over her defender, but it's picked up now from Blackburn. Just relentless pursuit from the Charlton front line there, trying to win back possession, and they've done well. And Sampson plays the ball back to Cummings. And Charlton knowing when to go direct with the long ball, but also playing out from the back as well, which is good to see. Defensive players who are happy to bring the ball, carry it forward, can pick out a pass or two, which is exactly what Sampson tries to do there, but it's too heavy and perhaps slightly rushed there. That was giving Rowe a lot to do, and Rowe just chartering back to her left back position. I was reading an absolutely fantastic article last week by Justin Allen, all about the one club mentality at Charlton Athletic. It was a really, really good piece. I'm sure you can still find it on social media or online, and the Charlton goalkeeper Craig McElvery and Eartha Cummins were talking about the mentality, and a really nice quote from the Charlton's men's goalkeeper, just saying it doesn't matter if you're male or female, we all represent Charlton Athletic. And Charlton now on the attack through wing. Can she get a shot away? That's a good bit of last-ditch defending. Wynn just trying to keep the attack alive, which she does. The ball is with Scales now, back with Wynn. She's onside as well. Can she get across in? She manages to whip the ball. Will it fall to a Charlton player? No, it doesn't. Some last-gasp defending from Blackburn there. Charlton looking very, very dangerous. Wynn is certainly up for this game, causing some real problems down the right-hand side as Rowe cuts inside into the middle of the pitch, just trying to find a pass, but Blackburn swamping the middle of the pitch. Now the ball is with King. A little bit of good calm measure there from King. Elects to play it back to Sampson, and then Charlton go again, recycling the ball well. Enjoying lots of possession in the opening 10 minutes. If you are just joining us, it's Charlton Athletic 0, Blackburn 0 in the FA Women's Championship. Thank you so much for joining us on Charlton TV for the live stream. Wherever you are tuned in from, it would be fantastic to hear from you. Do follow us, CAFC Women, on Twitter, on the socials. Let us know where you're tuned in from. Lovely little curling ball down the left-hand flank there by King. Rowe trying to hit it first time. The block is made. Can Rowe get her team a corner, maybe a throw-in? She does. Great work, great industry from the left back.
Jess! All done, all done.
You can hear the words of encouragement there from the Charlton bench. I think they'll be pleased with the start their team has made this afternoon. They've had a long break due to the international FIFA Women's World Cup qualifiers, of which 4 Charlton players were involved, which is brilliant to see as well. That international pedigree being built here at the football club. Eartha Cummins went away on international duty for Scotland, whilst Megan Wynne, Anna Philby and Elise Hughes, all starting for the Addicts this afternoon, were part of Wales's campaign for that World Cup, which is due to take place in 2023-24 in Australia and New Zealand. It was a fantastic result for Wales, actually. A clean sheet for Megan Wynne and a 6-0 victory for those girls. So I'm sure they're going to bring that confidence and momentum from their international duties into the Charlton 11. The long ball forward, searching for Wynne down that right-hand flank. She's got some chasing to do, but she's going to keep the ball on, is Wynne. A nice little touch there. Cuts the ball back to Hughes. Hughes to Scales. Scales lofting the ball in, but the offside flag is up. And it was a good little nifty run there from Jess King. Her movement on and off the ball. She's such a predator in and around the 6-yard box, but just slightly mistimed that one there. Bit premature, and it's going to be a goal kick taken by Alexandra Brooks, dressed in the bright neon. It's an opportunity for Blackburn to try and get the ball down the other end. It's been all Charlton so far in this opening 12 minutes, and that's a good, strong header there. Charlton just keeping this nice simmering pressure under, but it'd be good to maybe force a save or two from Brooks, make the most of the possession that they've got. It's a throw-in looking for Kira Scales there, but Blackburn just clearing their lines. And if you want to read today's matchday programme, that is also available free of charge for you today. If you head over to Charlton's website, the e-digital programme is available, and I'd really encourage you to have a read. It's got some fantastic content in there, including a really interesting interview with Hannah Godfrey, again, just giving a bit of an insight into this new professional model that has been introduced at Charlton and what it feels like to be a full-time professional footballer. I mean, that is the dream, isn't it? Well, she's living it, and so are her teammates. Game number 3 of the new FA Women's Championship. Their 3rd game as a full-time team. A long ball there, that's a good header back by Hughes. Bit of good build-up play here from the visitors. They haven't had too much of a sniff around this end of the pitch. And Kira Scales is doing her best to make sure that they don't have any more, but that clearance is not her finest, and the ball is still at the feet of Blackburn there as the shot comes into goal, and that's well seen by Cummins there. She just scrambles over to pick the ball up. It's a shot on target, but nothing too much to concern Charlton's number 13. And the last time these two teams met was actually in the FA Cup. It's been such a strange couple of seasons for the whole football pyramid, and that includes the women's game as well. The FA Cup from last season still hasn't been complete, and the Addicts travel to Brighton shortly for their quarter-final. But it was a 1-0 victory the last time these two teams met, and a Jess King strike secured Charlton a place in the quarter-final, which is another game to look forward to shortly. But for now, we are focused fully on today's FA Championship game, and Charlton have to do a bit of defending now as the ball is cut back. It's a decent-looking ball, and there's a strike following it up there, which is lucky for Charlton. The clearance falling to the Blackburn player nicely there, but luckily the shot, although struck instinctively, goes off for a throw-in. Blackburn having their best opportunities of the game so far after a rather dominant opening 10 minutes from the Addicts. Rowe will probably take her time there, wait for some support from her teammates. There's plenty of red shirts coming forward to get a touch on the ball. That's one well by Emma Doyle for Blackburn. But enough pressure applied means that Rowe, again in exactly the same position she was just a few seconds ago, takes the throw in, finds Kira Scales. Scales now plays the ball square. You can see that Charlton are trying to stretch the game as much as possible, making the most of the space they've got here at the Oakwood. And this is a good, promising run from the skipper, although she's upended there. Good bit of defending from Blackburn. The tempo of this game just begins to open up a little bit more, becoming more end-to-end. Doyle assesses her options, looks to spray the ball out to her right-hand side, but that pass is cut out. It's a real strength of the Charlton game at the moment, that press from the attack. They really do defend so solidly as a unit. And that defensive shape, when the team don't have the ball, is equally as important as when they do have it. And it's proven dividends because Charlton have been able to win back possession fluidly at the moment. Ellis. Hughes puts Blackburn under some pressure there. Of course, playing against her former team this afternoon, she'll be keen to impress. She actually scored the last time, well, these two teams met at the Oakwood when it was a 1-1 draw. Blackburn originally took the lead via a penalty, and then Hughes responded from the spot kick. She joined from Everton, then had her loan spell at Charlton, and was a signing that Karen Hills was keen to make over the summer, and she slotted in so well into this Charlton team, a real asset. And she'll be looking to get on the score sheet this afternoon as Charlton attack down that right-hand side again from wing. Can she find a cross? She can find a cross, but she can't find a teammate, and it's defended well again. Charlton just trying to keep that pressure, being relentless in the pursuit of possession, but just perhaps lacking that final touch or clinical cross to really cause the Blackburn Rovers defence problems at the moment. But that tenacity and work rate is there for all to see as Sampson there reads that really, really well, gets the intercept, finds Scales, and it's a curling ball in. Hughes out to the right-hand side to Wynne. Wynne's going to pass it back to her skipper. There's a bit of patience now and pattern coming into Charlton's passing play. And that's no bad thing. They can afford to be patient, building up slowly. There's a Wynne and Nubra exchange some passes there. This is good stuff from the Addicts. Can they turn it up a notch? King exchanging passes with Hughes. Hughes going shoulder to shoulder with the Blackburn Rovers centre-back. There's a poor clearance from the centre-back. Wynne now with the cross in, trying to find Rutherford. It just falls a few inches over her head and bounces over. And it's gleefully cleared away by Blackburn. Karen Hill's predicted it was going to be a battle. Her side would need to be organised, but the signs that I'm seeing as we approach 20 minutes here at the Oakwood is that they're certainly looking organised and rather dominant in possession. I'm finding a bit more of a rhythm, and this is an opportunity from a set piece for the Addicts. I did wonder there whether Philby was going to play it short, but instead Rutherford does. Charlton keen to keep this pressure up. Sampson to Scales. Scales out wide to Wynne. Wynne right-footed, delivers a tantalising cross in. Can the Charlton player finish? The ball is at the feet of Elise Hughes, and that was a good opportunity for Charlton there. Probably their best of the game so far. Some good build-up play from Wynne. She is really looking dangerous down that right-hand side, and the ball fell kindly at a bit of an angle for Hughes. She managed to turn her body round well, but not able to quite meet that with the finish. It's been a sustained period of pressure for the Addicts so far. And as I say, it has been a slight break in play for most of the Charlton squad with the international duty, meaning that 4 teammates were away on their travels. For the rest, it meant plenty of time at Sparrows Lane, working on things like shape and possession. It's a new look squad. It's an exciting squad, and it's one that Karen Hills is building for the future. Of course, Karen Hill brought into the club after spending such a long time developing the women's team at Spurs. She managed them between 2009 and 2020, turning them from an amateur outfit into a professional outfit, and she's doing the same thing here. And of course, she played for Charlton. It's a club so close to her heart. Many, many happy memories there from when she was a player between 2001 and 2007. Then that is the kind of heritage that this football club has. For those of you that might not be too aware, perhaps you're learning a bit about the women's game courtesy of your support for Charlton as a football club. Charlton have a great history leading the way in women's football, and it is so nice to see this one club mentality resumed again as Thomas Sangard backs the girls, backs the women by making them a full-time professional model. It's Blackburn on the attack now. It's a good, strong run from Megan Hornby. She's managed to find a way into the Charlton box. She plays it back. It's a heavy first touch initially, and Jess King, don't give her a sniff. She will pick up possession there. Looked like a bit of a shirt pull, but she shrugged it off. She's found teammate Wynne on that right-hand side. Wynne looking for the run of Rutherford. Rutherford giving chase now. This is good play from Charlton. That hunger and desire now means that ball whipped in from the left-hand flank. It's a good cross and a dive-in save initially, and the ball falls to Wynne once more, but Alexandra Brooks getting an important glove to that cross there. Plenty of whippage and pace from Rutherford, showing the quality that she brings to this Charlton outfit. And another good attacking move, but credit again to the Charlton number 9 there. Doing so well, Jess King. She's been handed this start. Came off the bench against Durham. That fight, that appetite to win her place in the starting 11, and then we've seen her doing her defensive duties, picking up possession, driving forward, and now Charlton have a corner. Can they produce something from a set-piece routine? The ball whipped in, and it's a good header. It's a good, strong header, but not Unfortunately, glancing towards target there from Rutherford, but still promising signs for the Addicts. It's 23 minutes on the clock. It's Charlton 0, Blackburn 0, but it's been a very dominant display from the hosts so far. Well read by Rowe. Rowe to Scales. Rutherford, a magnet for blue and white shirts, but again Charlton winning the ball back once more. Can Rutherford find a way down the left-hand flank, right-hand flank rather? She doesn't, but she does play it back to her skipper. Probably a good decision there because it was a tight angle and the space was being closed down. It's Blackburn trying to press and be a bit more aggressive further up the pitch, but Charlton matching that with some good calm composure on the ball, looking so comfortable. And it's really good as well to see the centre-back partnership of Sampson and Godfrey, both happy to have the ball at their feet, which is again part and parcel of being a centre-back nowadays. And it is Godfrey who is on the ball. Plays it out to Rutherford. Rutherford being given a really free role this afternoon. She's switched sides with Wynne. Little tactical switch up for the Addicts as they try and find a way to break the deadlock, and that is a clear foul on Wynne there. And what a great position to win her team a set piece. Referee's going to have a word there, because that was a rather cynical challenge from Kaylee McDonald. But Wynne has looked to threaten, as has Rutherford, and the fact that those two can switch sides is a really good bit of attacking Arsenal at Karen Hill's disposal. This is a dangerous position as Rose stands over the ball. It's a one-man wall for Blackburn. Plenty of bodies in the box. Rowe right-footed drills the ball down towards the inside post. It's cleared, but only so far as Wynne. Ball trickles its way into the grateful gloves of Alexandra Brooks there. Charlton just needing that final little bit of quality in those opportunities. Blackburn have looked stubborn and resolute in their defence, and set pieces, you can't help but feel as the game wears on, will become even more important for Charlton as they look to break down this stubborn side. We've already got 2 clean sheets so far this season against Sheffield United and Sunderland. They only conceded 1 against Watford. Picks up a 3-1 victory there, which means that they currently sit 3rd in the FA Women's Championship. Charlton are 9th with a game in hand over most other teams in the division. And as I say, there may be some supporters tuned in this afternoon who are beginning to find out more about women's football now that the Charlton team is under the professional umbrella of the club as a whole. So Charlton do play in the 2nd tier of the women's English football pyramid. There's the Super League and then there's the Championship, and this is a bit of defending now that Charlton are having to do their loose pass. Do not be lackadaisical in your passing, I think will be the message from the management team there. The one little moment, one little individual error there, exposing Charlton, but fortunately they were not made to pay the price. Just need to keep that concentration level up, particularly, as I say, at this level, the 2nd tier of the women's professional game. And there's been so much change, so much development, so much investment in women's football in this country, that divisions like the Women's Championship do have professional sides like Charlton competing in them now, which is brilliant to see. And with a club as ambitious as Charlton, you know the only way is up.
Here. Keep coming. Good.
Sampson on the ball for the Addicts now. Plays the ball to Rowe. Rowe back to Scales, who's been doing a really good job actually of protecting that back four. And it's a long searching ball forward for Wynne. Wynne reads it well, gets the ball back to her skipper. The first time cross is blocked and it will be a throw, but it's taken quickly by Wynne, trying to find King, and that bounces over, but to Scales, and it falls to Rutherford right on the 6-yard box. Rutherford putting the Blackburn defence under lots of pressure, and she wins her team a corner. With 28 minutes on the clock and this much possession, could this be the moment that Charlton can break the deadlock? It's going to be Rowe again. She's the set-piece specialist for the Addicts. Such a technically gifted player. She spent a lot of time at Brighton and Hove Albion, a team who are currently sitting top of the Women's Super League with a fantastic setup. They've been a full-time model in a professional outfit for a while now, and Rowe, of course, got on the score sheet here a couple of weeks ago when the Addicts beat Coventry. She's going to take this corner, left-footed, curls the ball in, and the ball falls to King. King getting the shot away first time there. And it's blocked and it's cleared, and now Blackburn trying to find a counter-attack, but that's good defending, and that should be, again, another free kick for Charlton. The tally of free kick opportunities now is probably matching those possession stats for Godfrey now. I think she's going to put the ball down. Is she going to look to whip a ball into the box, or it looks like that's going to be the case. Rutherford fancies this. Just needing a really, really good delivery into the box. So much good build-up play from the Addicts so far. But that deadlock remains firmly closed at the moment. As we approach 30 minutes, Rutherford does play it out to the right-hand side. Newborough on the ball, gets the cross into Newborough, and it's a good headed clearance there. The ball spends a lot of time up in the air. The seconds is mopped up by Rutherford. She just teed herself up there to get the shot away, but the ball does fall to Rowe 25 yards out. It would have taken a pretty special strike to beat Brooks from that distance. Whilst the shot was on target, it was lacking power to cause the Rovers keeper any real concern there.
Give yourself more room, Han. Philby, give yourself more room. Step onto it.
Half an hour played. It is Charlton 0, Blackburn 0, and it has been all the way of the Addicts so far, apart from one little moment, one individual error that gifted Blackburn a chance on goal. Charlton, to be fair, have been very, very dominant. Just haven't quite broken the deadlock. Although Jess King wants to do something about that there. Clearance from Brooks means the ball finds its way upfield, but not for too long. And this is a real strength of Charlton's game so far this afternoon, being able to win the ball back competently and confidently. But Rowe there just putting too much pressure on. It's going to be a free kick for the visitors. Two changes to the starting 11 from the team that were beaten away at Durham a couple of weeks ago. It was a real physical battle there, and Jess King and Vianne Sampson have been introduced into the starting 11 and add an element of experience and physicality into the Charlton 11, but there are plenty of options on the bench as well, should Karen Hills require them. Now, though, Charlton need to do some defending. It's a long, searching ball forward. It's headed away well. Vianne Sampson there just clearing her lines. As Rutherford charges forward there. Can Charlton capitalise upon the error there? Wynne and Rutherford giving chase. Rutherford now making history when she scored after 38 seconds here at the Oakwood against Coventry. Trying to make something happen for her side again this afternoon. Nice little back heel there, back to the skipper. Blackburn getting blocks and bodies in the way. Proving to be a stubborn, resilient, defensive back line. And one that's kept their shape well there to deny Wynne an opportunity to get a cross in because the offside flag is up. Wynne and Rutherford are so good at navigating their way around defenders, reading play, linking up well as well. Vianne Sampson there, just headering the ball back. using her body well to make sure that there was absolutely no way that Farah Crompton was getting on to the ball. And Charlton now again mounting another attacking charge. That'll be a throw-in for Charlton. Just picking the ball up, trying to just increase the tempo slightly for the Addicts, who are looking sharp, they're looking fit. And they have really been testing this Blackburn defence with wave after wave of attack, but Blackburn, to their credit, are standing firm as Alexandra Brooks just urges her teammates forward. I think she would rather the ball spent a bit more time down the other end of the pitch, but it's not sticking, and that is credit to Charlton. Sampson there trying to get a boot in. It's a good turn from Annabelle Blancard, trying to find her strike partner. It's a late one there, left in on Gilbin. You're just looking there to see, that sums it up really. Kira Skills looking to get the ball off quickly. Charlton don't want to let this game go into any sort of lull of tempo. Godfrey's just having a word with the official there. It is Jade Wardle, who is our referee this afternoon. Just wondering if the physio is going to treat Kaylee McDonald at all, or if it's just a case of the Blackburn number 12 just shaking off the injury. Yeah, it looks that way. No treatment required, which means that for Cummings can get us back underway soon. Again, I mentioned the interview that Cummings did with Justin Allen recently and Craig McKelvey, and she was talking about how welcoming it is and how welcome she's felt as soon as she signed for the football club. And that is so refreshing, because it is still unfortunately rather rare for women's and men's teams to be given the level of parity that they are given at Charlton Athletic Football Club. It's great to see, and these players are role models for the local community. They're role models for those involved in the club's RTC structure and the community trust as well, that does so much work delivering sessions. Having a first team and a player pathway model is so imperative, and there is so much talent around South East London. And I'm sure there'll be lots of young supporters coming with their families. So I can see them scattered around here at the Oakwood watching these players and thinking, one day I might be a professional footballer for Charlton Athletic, which is fantastic, because I mentioned it before, the pedigree that this club has. Players the likes of Pauline Cope, Jo Broadhurst, Casey Stoney, Katie Chapman, Eni Aluko, Farrah Williams, the most capped England player. They have all worn the club crest. They have all appeared for the Addicts. And there's better times ahead as well. Like I say, the club has an FA Charter Standard Girls team, it has an FA Girls Regional Talent Club, it has a first team and under 21s, and 4 junior teams as well, from under 10s, under 12s, under 14s and under 16s. So much talent, it's fantastic. As Wynne bombs forward there, did wonder whether the referee would be interested, but she's not. But Wynne there just on the end of a crunching tackle, but a fair one. Just dusts herself off. There were some real glory years here at the football club, and it feels to me like there might be some glory years to come. But I'm going to try not to get too carried away. For now, we just want Charlton to break this deadlock, because 36 minutes are on the clock, and it is Charlton 0, Blackburn 0. But Charlton have an opportunity from a set piece. Right-footed delivery comes into the box. It's cleared away initially, but Rutherford keeps the ball alive. Finding some space down the left-hand flank. That's a good curl effort. It goes into the back of the net, and Rutherford gives Charlton a very deserved lead. 37 minutes on the clock. She deserves that. Charlton deserved that. They've got the lead. They've had to be patient. They've had to be resilient, and fantastic scenes here at the Oakwood as Rutherford celebrates with her teammates on the sidelines there. Should we have a little look at that again to say whether set pieces will prove to be a means of breaking the deadlock. It's a great ball initially from Rowe, defended well, but Rutherford scooping up the seconds, drives down to the right-hand side. It's a left-footed cross-come shot, we're going to say. We're going to give Rutherford all the credit there. She's beaten Alexandra Brooks at her back stick, and like I say, it's a very, very deserved lead. She did exactly the same here on the 5th of September, giving Charlton the lead against Coventry United. She's given them the lead against Blackburn. It's Charlton Athletic 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. And she is a player in confidence, notching up her 3rd goal. She loves playing here at the Oakwood, does Ella Rutherford. And you know what? I think this Charlton team are hungry for some more goals. Jess King down the right-hand flank now. What can the number 9 do? Just showing some quick feet there. Side footed, looking for win, but it's read well there from Blackburn. Charlton have been so dominant in possession. They've now got the goal that their display merits, and that looks like a foul for me. It's a foul for the referee too on Anna Philby there, just charging forward. It's great to see so many Charlton players moving up the pitch, getting involved in the attacking play as well. But credit, I have to say, I've been really, really impressed with the Charlton front line so far this afternoon. The trio of Wynne, King and Rutherford, bringing that energy, bringing that dynamite. And it was proven perhaps to be a little bit frustrating to find a means of breaking down Blackburn, and I did think it might be a set-piece opportunity, perhaps something from the training ground. But really and truly, it was just hard work and work rate there from Rutherford to get to the seconds, to mop the ball up on the edge of the box and get that cross in, come shot. And can Rutherford perhaps now pull off the spectacular? The ball is 30 yards out here, but she's a confident player. Right-footed from distance, she's going to give it a go, but it does fire over the crossbar there. And you just wouldn't put Ella Rutherford out of scoring from that range. Her performance in the opening game of the season earned her a place in the Team of the Week in the FA Women's Championship, and she's built upon that with her display this afternoon as well. Work rate, industry and skill to whip that ball in from the left-hand side. As we approach the half-time break, Rowe just assessing her options with the throw-in. And like I say, if you are tuning in and joining us anywhere in the world, this is what is so fantastic about being able to bring you this game on Charlton TV. Please do let us know. Drop us a comment, a message. Follow us on the socials as well. CAFC Women is the handle that you need to go and follow and support this team throughout the season, because Karen Hills is building something special. She's done it at Spurs. She's doing it here at Charlton. Rutherford again just getting about, being busy, being a real headache for Rovers this afternoon. They've really been struggling to contain the Charlton number 19, and that's a great ball forward. Long searching pass into space. It finds Wynne. Wynne trying to get past the left back, and I think you can see from the body language there of Hannah Cohn, it's been a long afternoon for her in the heart of the Blackburn Rovers defence. Can Charlton double their lead before the break? Rowe's going to go over and take the corner. Slight sense of deja vu creeping in, and we certainly hope so, because it would be a fantastic time for Charlton to score, double that advantage before the break. And again, speaking truthfully, it wouldn't be unjust given their display in this opening 41 minutes at the Oakwood. Rowe just signalling to her teammates. The ball falls to King. Oh, instinctive strike there from King, looking to hit it first time. And the technical ability to get a shot like that on target is hard to pull off, and that is skied over there from King, but getting in a really good position. And again, you can see how well drilled this Charlton team is. Those training ground routines paying off. That actually reminded me slightly of the goal that Charlton, the men's team, scored yesterday. Sean Clare scoring from a training ground routine from a corner. So much synergy across the football club, one club mentality in the goals we score as well. That's well read there by Charlton's number 6, Hannah Philby. And players like Philby, when they perform that role, shielding a defence, doing kind of the nasty job, sometimes they don't get the credit they deserve, and Philby has been another standout for me. As Charlton hitting on the attack again. Oh, that was a goal golden opportunity there for Charlton to make it 2. I'm not sure whether Kira Scales knew quite how much time and space she had to pick out her spot. Hitting it first time. And the shot goes wide.
Philby, give yourself room again. Step into it. Kira, give yourself room to run forward into it.
This is good though, Charlton managing to find pockets of space. They've been stretching the game. The width that Rutherford and Wynne provide does mean that there's pockets for players like Scales and Hughes to navigate round and cause some problems. But for now, it's Godfrey having to do some defensive duties. Played that pass ever so slightly short there, but luckily Cummins was alert. She hasn't had to do too much for Cummins, but King there, can she make it 2? Oh, dearie me. That was again a really good opportunity for Charlton. King in the right place at the right time, looking to capitalise on a short defensive pass back. Perhaps ever so slightly critical on my part here, but a bit more composure from King. Maybe even had the chance to take a further touch and just curl and strike the ball beyond Brooks there. But if she keeps working hard like that, King will be getting her name on the score sheet as well, I imagine. A real industrious display from the Charlton number 9, getting her body about, covering so many blades of grass at the Oakwood. It's Rutherford on this occasion looking to put some pressure down the high press. You can't help but feel that's a good strategy given how much pressure the back line Blackburn Rovers has been under really quite continuously and consistently. On this occasion, they've got the officials' flag for offside to help them out. They can reshape, regroup, and I'm sure Gemma Donnelly will be keen to get her team back in at the break. Using all of her experience, having been manager for Rovers for 7 seasons, involved with the club for 14. So far, they really have been outplayed. Certainly not having it their way. It's been a really competent and professional display, and just the one goal so far making the difference. Charlton probably could be 2 or 3 up at this stage. Rowe's going to take the throw in. I don't imagine there will be too much longer to play, but do make sure that you join us for the second period here on Charlton TV. We are here providing you the full 90 minutes for free. You can get the matchday programme for free as well if you're looking for a bit of entertainment at the break. Do go and have a read. It's got some fantastic articles in. It's available for you via the Charlton Athletic website, cafc.co.uk. Check it out. It's also got a list of all the upcoming fixtures. So if you want to head down to the Oakwood, or perhaps you live further afield, you might want to support the Addicts on their travels as well. Charlton just needing to keep their concentration here. I thought that should have been a Charlton throw-in, but the official has given it to Blackburn. Good defending there from Sampson, using her body ever so well to deny Blackburn Rovers a chance to get a shot on target. And really and truly, that has been the story of this first half so far from the off. A really competent, confident display from the Addicts, who are looking to make it 2 wins in 2 here at the Oakwood. The difference so far, a strike by, you guessed it, Ella Rutherford. She loves scoring here at the Oakwood. And let's watch her goal one last time, shall we, before we take a break and pause for the second half. It was a lovely bit of work initially from the corner, taken by Beth Rowe. Rutherford picking up the seconds, getting a good few touches on it, and then just whipping the ball back and defeating absolutely everyone. That is the goal that gives Charlton the lead. That is the difference so far in this opening half. It finishes after 45 minutes. Charlton Athletic 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. But please do join me, Charlotte Richardson, for the second half here at the Oakwood. We will be rejoining you very, very soon. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to Charlton TV and to the Addicts YouTube channel for this afternoon's FA Championship clash between Charlton Athletic and Blackburn Rovers. Well, it was a tantalising opening 45 minutes, a really dominant display from Charlton Athletic, who had to be patient to break the deadlock, which they did so courtesy of, you guessed it, Ella Rutherford. A fantastic strike from Rutherford, who picked up the ball down the left-hand side and looped the keeper to strike the ball into the top far corner. That goal is the difference so far. It's an evenly poised game, as you would expect in the FA Women's Championship. It's the second tier of the English football pyramid. It's competitive. It's going to be a battle. It's everything that manager Karen Hills expected it to be. But my goodness, it's been entertaining, and I cannot wait to see how the second half unfolds. Thank you so much for joining me, Charlotte Richardson, for coverage of today's women's match. It'd be fantastic if you could connect with our coverage, drop us a comment, connect with the team on our social channels as well. The handle is @CAFC Women. Now, as we wait for the two teams to make their way back and resume proceedings for the second period, that gives me just about enough time to talk you through the starting 11s, assuming that is that neither manager makes any changes. But I don't suspect, following that dominant opening 45 minutes, Charlton manager Karen Hills will be wanting to. She did make two changes from the team that lost away at Durham a couple of weeks ago, introducing Vianne Sampson and Jess King into the starting 11. So it is a team that lines up with number 13 Eartha Cummins in goal, right back and captain Rachel Newborough, with Vianne Sampson and Hannah Godfrey the centre-back partnership, Beth Rowe in the left-back role, Kira Scales and Megan Wynn, Elise Hughes and Anna Philby making up the midfield, with Ella Rutherford and Jess King completing the starting 11. On the bench for Charlton this afternoon, number 1 Sophie Hilliard, number 5 Holly Olding, number 7 Emma Follis, number 11 Alicia Salula, number 18 Lois Roch, number 26 Lois Tuchman, and number 29 Mia Ross. Now, Blackburn Rovers have gotten off to a fantastic start to this season. They've got 2 wins under their belts already, impressive wins at that, and they currently sit third in the FA Women's Championship. They line up this afternoon: number 1 Alexandra Brooks, number 4 Natasha Fenton, number 5 Helen Seed, number 6 Jade Richards, number 8 Emma Doyle. Skippering the side and leading the line is number 9 Saffron Jordan, number 10 Annabelle Blancard, 11 Megan Hornby, 12 Kaylee McDonald, number 15 Hannah Cohn, and number 19 Farah Crompton. On the bench for Rovers this afternoon, Eleanor Heaps, 7 Chloe Dixon, 16 Mia Parry, 17 Millie Chandarana, number 21 Lauren Thomas, and number 23 Ellie Leake. Now, it's always a close contest whenever these two teams come head to head. Their most recent meeting was back in April in the FA Cup, and the Addicts managed to secure a 1-0 victory there. Jess King scoring the goal that secured Charlton a place in the quarter-final of the Emirates Women's Cup. And because of the way that COVID's been, how disruptive it's been to the domestic fixture schedule, last season's FA Cup is still taking place. And the Addicts will travel to Brighton on the 29th of September for that game. Brighton sit in top of the FA Women's Super League, which is the division above the Championship. What an opportunity that will be for these Charlton players to go and play against Hope Powell's side and look to get in the semi-final. Some history can be made in what is a historic season already, because this is the first campaign Charlton are playing as a professional outfit. This weekend marks a year since owner Thomas Sangard took over the club, saved the football club. And one of the most impressive things, certainly from my point of view as someone that has followed and loved women's football for so many years, is the one club mentality he has introduced. As well as saving the men's team, Sangard took ownership of the women's team, bringing it all under one umbrella again, which it hadn't been for a number of years after the really unfortunate collapse in 2007. The future looks bright, it looks exciting, as does this second half. As you can see there, the team having their final team talk. I'm sure the message amongst the players will be, let's keep this up. If we're going to be critical of the opening half display, perhaps there was a ruthless clinical edge missing, because the scoreline should perhaps be a couple more goals in it for the Addicts. It's just the one goal at the moment, scored by Ella Rutherford. She has looked lively all afternoon. And as I mentioned in the first period, really impressed with her display alongside King and Megan Wynn on the right. That is an attacking Arsenal, an attacking trio that's going to cause some problems at this level. As we look to get underway, it's going to be the visitors that kick us off. Let me also let you know who the officials are this afternoon. Referee Jade Wardle, who blows her whistle to get us underway, is assisted by Isabel Chaplin and Adriana Bakur. Right, we are back underway, and Blackburn are going to be wanting to respond. They're certainly not going to be given a chance there. That was a crunching tackle from Kira Skells, just letting her presence be known early doors. I think, though, she's going to earn herself a yellow card. Referee not happy with that. It's going to be a free kick for Blackburn, and as I mentioned, free kick early doors for Charlton to have to defend against. Enjoyed so much possession in that opening 45 minutes. The only real glimpse Blackburn got was an individual error, really, a sloppy pass, but luckily they weren't made to pay, and there's some good heroic defending there. I think the player down is Anna Philby. Have to wait and see there, but heroic defending. Charlton getting their body on the line. And I think Philby will need to, no, she doesn't want to. She's getting up straight away. What a warrior. That's a Charlton mentality for you there, putting your body on the line and getting straight back up again to resume business. So these two teams did meet in the FA Cup in April, but they also met at the Oakwood here back in January as well. That was a close game. It was a 1-1 draw. But the penalty spot dictated how that game went. Blackburn were awarded a penalty after 14 minutes. And so were Charlton later on. Elise Hughes scoring there. Elise Hughes starting for the Addicts, having spent time at Blackburn Rovers. Always close games, and what Charlton will be looking to do now is just extend their lead, make the second half perhaps a little bit more comfortable in terms of scoreline. But certainly it did look comfortable in long phases in the first half. Karen Hills was talking in her pre-match press conference about the international break coming at a really good time, because let's not forget, this is a new look Charlton team. 14 new players signed over the summer, 7 retained from the time before, and it's fantastic to see all the investment and the recruitment, but it does take time bedding in, time on the training ground, but then also time in match situations like this for teammates to click together, for formations to come together, for that rhythm and that fluidity to creep into play. But we are certainly seeing glimpses of it. This is game number 3 of the season after all. Started off fantastically with a 3-1 win against Coventry here at the Oakwood, and then a tough trip to Durham, and then the international break, which involved a quartet of Charlton players. They want to make an impression this afternoon, stamp their authority on this league. Some lovely little interchanges of play going on in the corner there, and King giving chase, trying to get a touch there. That's a good sliding tackle. Did it touch a hand? King is convinced it did, but the referee not looking interested. And again, King just getting in the way, picking up the ball. That's a cross coming in there. No red shirts really around it. Brooks clears the lines there for Blackburn. And to be honest, that has been probably one of the few attacking outlets for Blackburn this half. Charlton have looked so composed and organised defensively. That long direct ball is something that Brooks has been looking to just try and get her teammates up the pitch a bit more. It looks so far, with 48 minutes on the clock, that Charlton are picking up where they left off. It's the skipper who's going to take the throw in there, as Wynn and Philby make a little sandwich there of the Blackburn player. Wynn plays it back to Nubra. Nubra to Philby. This is lovely passing play from the Addicts here. Really smooth in the attacking transition. Rutherford out to Rowe on the left-hand side. Rowe using her body well. Not enough though, and Crompton picks up play for Blackburn, driving the ball forward. She's caught by Rowe. I did think there that the referee was going to just play advantage there as a tackle from behind. It did catch Crompton, who looks to be in a bit of discomfort after it. Charlton will need any treatment. Just going to take a few minutes respite. There's so much strength and depth in this Charlton squad now. It really is quite frightening. You look at some of the names on the bench that Karen Hills has to refer to should she need to. She made the 2 changes, as I mentioned earlier. Jess King and Vianne Sampson introduced in place of Alicia Sulula and Holly Olding. But again, that just shows the quality and headaches that the Charlton manager gets to enjoy and relish. There's some really good notes in the matchday programme that you can read for free when you visit the Charlton Athletic website, www.cafc.co.uk. Do go and have a little read. You can also find as well the upcoming fixtures should you wish to come and join us at the Oakwood one day, or perhaps you might live further afield in the UK, or if you're abroad, hopefully you will join us again for coverage on Charlton TV. It's great to have you watching, supporting the girls. The throw-in gets taken there. King trying to get a chest to it. But good work by Megan Hornby for Rovers. Really good defensive work there. And that's been a real strength, again, a real observation of mine so far in this game, is how much the team defend from the front. King getting involved there. Hughes getting involved there to win the ball back. And in that midfield territory, Charlton have really done well, gaining up possession, picking up the ball, driving forward, and King there just trying to navigate her way around, but some good defensive work. Ref wants a foul. Sorry, the ref doesn't want a foul. Jade Richards wants a foul, but the ref isn't interested. Hughes trying to pin Blackburn into their corner, which she does. Nubra's going to take. We saw Wynne and Rutherford switch up sides throughout the opening 45 minutes, but at the moment Wynne is taking down that right-hand charge, just making herself available, opening up her body there. She's surrounded by blue and white shirts, as you would imagine, because she has been a real threat for Charlton. Nice little pass there by Philby. That's a foul.
Yes, Megan!
Great work by Wynne there. I'm not sure that Natasha Fenton is too pleased to give away a free kick, but
Philby.
This position has one player's name written all over it, and that is Rutherford. She's scored 3 goals already here at the Oakwood. Can she make it 4? This is a good position for Charlton. A 3-player wall assembled by Brooks. Can't help but feel there's a nice little bit of space building in that top left-hand corner. Rutherford stepping up now, left-footed, curls it towards goal, just lacking the whippage that her goal earlier on in the first half gained, and that was easily gathered by Brooks there. But good positive signs still, with 52 minutes on the clock. First league game for the Addicts for a while. As I mentioned, FIFA Women's World Cup qualifiers took place recently, and 4 Charlton players were involved with that. The goalkeeper Eartha Cummins for Scotland, and Megan Wynne, Anna Philby and Elise Hughes all on international duty with Wales as they look to play in the World Cup that's due to take place in New Zealand and Australia. Megan Wynne got an assist actually for Wales. 6-0 victory, so really good for the girls involved in international duties. Those that weren't spent a lot of time at Sparrows Lane, and the manager was saying it was just good to get the team working hard, really up for today's game, and that's certainly been the case from the off. Some good work there from Godfrey. She could have really shanked the ball and cleared it long, but just confident in her own possession. Good footwork, clears the ball. King coming forward, coming deep, but we don't mind that. It's good to have that hunger and appetite to get on the ball. And Godfrey's going to step up. Oh no, I think she was going to encourage her goalkeeper to take it, but she says no, go back, drop back. That's the thing there, good sensible leadership from Godfrey. Good decision making, and decision making is as good an ability as any technical bit of skill. Godfrey, right footed, plays the diag, trying to pick out Rutherford, but it's not long enough, and ball gets played back here. And I think this is a real area for Charlton to pick up upon. The press in the final third. The Blackburn back four don't necessarily look the most confident in their clearances, so you can't help but feel there might be an opportunity to latch upon there, as King almost does that. She does put Richards under some pressure, but Richards doing well there, an imposing figure in that centre-back role. Blackburn did well defensively in the first half, take nothing away from them in that respect. And they've gotten off to a good start so far in this season. 2 wins, 1 loss. They're level on points at the moment with second place side Sheffield United, who they beat on the opening day of the season, and they're 1 point behind leaders Sunderland, who they lost to 2-0 recently. Oh, the ball falling there for Blackburn. Can Godfrey get a shot off? She gets a foot in the way, and it's an important bit of pressure there from Godfrey. Blackburn showing their threat. Annabelle Blancard looking a bit dangerous in the box. They've scored on every occasion so far this season, so if the Addicts can keep a clean sheet, that will be even sweeter, but there's a long way to go, and at the moment with 55 minutes on the clock, it is Charlton 1, Blackburn 0. If you're just joining us, it's an absolute pleasure to have your company. Please do connect with us on the social channels. It'd be fantastic to hear from you. It's CAFC Women. Especially if you're tuned in from abroad. If you're somewhere lovely and hot, please do let us know, because it's a little bit grey and overcast here at the Oakwood VCD Athletics home ground, and it's our home as well for Charlton Women. The sun looked like it was threatening to come through, but alas, no such luck yet, as Charlton looked to threaten to break there, but Alexandra Brooks sees that ball all the way and gathers and rolls it gently out to her centre back. Helen Seed down the right hand flank to Crompton. Good tackle from Rowe. Oh no, I think the referee wanted to play advantage there. Maybe a little bit late from Rowe. Some more defending for Charlton to have to do now. And this is something perhaps they just need to tighten up a little bit, Charlton. I think Rovers have won more fouls in this second period so far than they did the whole of the first. And they do not want to give their opponents any sniff back into this game. As the delivery comes in right-footed. It's a searching ball, it's headed square back and it's just bouncing around the Charlton area there into the path of Jade Richards. It's a hooked effort, hooked and off target, fortunately, for the Addicts there. But again, that's why it's so important for back fives, and I include the keeper in that, those concentration levels. Sometimes when you are being so dominant in possession, you have to stay alive when you're defending such set pieces. You never know quite where those seconds will fall, as was the case with Charlton's opening goal. Initially the danger was cleared, but Rutherford was onto it, and boy was she onto it. A fantastic strike that looped Brooks and gives Charlton their 1 goal advantage at the moment. Approaching the hour mark, and Jess King throwing the ball onto Rutherford. Perhaps a little bit too early for her teammate there, comes off her back, but the ball is still looking to be kept alive. It's cleared, but only going to go for a throw-in. Fantastic to see another good crowd here at the Oakwood supporting the girls. It means so much to have fans with us, but also to have you with us watching on the live stream as well. It's been a busy weekend, 2 home games for the men's team yesterday and the women's team's keeping us busy here, but we absolutely love it. It's great to see games being played as Rutherford whips the ball in, looking to the inside post, win there with the run just slightly behind the play, and Brooks is able to get a grip onto that. And the games are coming thick and fast now for the Addicts. Got that trip to Brighton in the FA Cup to look forward to next weekend, and then October a trip to Watford is scheduled before a home game on the 10th of October against Bristol City. And then here's an interesting one for your diaries. On the 13th, Karen Hills returns to her old club, Tottenham Hotspur, in the Continental Cup. That's another cup competition for Charlton. That'll be an interesting one. And then another trip to Lewis, the rearranged match that was meant to take place, unfortunately got postponed due to COVID. Wynne now did some great work on the right-hand side. She has had a fantastic game so far this afternoon, Wynne. And I'm really pleased to see it as well, because For those of you that follow the women's game, ACL injuries are so common, and it's really unfortunate because they are a hard injury to come back from. But Megan Wynne has done exactly that. She got her assist on international duty, and she's brought all of that momentum into today's game as well, which is absolutely fantastic. That was a hard little space to get out of, and she's won her team a corner. Can it be a corner to double their lead? Rowe with the ball in, it finds Rutherford. Rutherford left-footed with a great strike. Oh, that's a good save there. She's forced a fine save from Alexandra Brooks, and that was nearly another Rowe corner combo with Rutherford there. Great technique from the Charlton number 19. She makes it look easy, but trust me, it's not. Great strike from range there, almost getting a brace. It's another corner though, and Rutherford looking to perhaps take it short. We'll see what Rowe decides to do. Like I say, they've had plenty of time on the training ground, so I'm sure there's a few routines, but this time Rowe plays it short. It's a great header, is it good? Oh, just glancing wide there. The header from Hannah Godfrey, just oozing past the left-hand post of Brooks there. Good little flurry of corners though. As I say, it could perhaps be 2 or 3 for Charlton at this stage. Putting some good pressure on the press there, but Blackburn able to carry the ball away. Ball bouncing around the halfway line, gets played back, and Wynne just putting chase there, putting the keeper under pressure. It's a long ball played forward, and that pressure pays off as it's easily gathered again. That recycling of possession has been such a strength of Charlton's game so far this afternoon. Rutherford playing deep, exchanging passes with Sampson. Sampson plays it back to Philby. That's a great little touch forward. Jess King with acres of space now. Looks to cut inside. She finds Rutherford. Can Rutherford get the touch? Unfortunately not. That was a good little opportunity there for Charlton. Rowe looking to put some pressure on the defence. And again, Charlton winning back possession. Keeping that pressure up. Being absolutely relentless in the pursuit of getting a second goal. Philby now. An ambitious effort from range. It's going to go off for a goal kick. And Charlton women have a vision. They're very clear about it. It's to play exciting, winning, competitive football at the highest level. And what I really like about the vision as well is through the daily pursuit of excellence, both on and off the field of play, and the improvements that have been made in such a short space of time since Thomas Sangard took ownership of the women's team has been so incredibly impressive. You can see and learn more of it on the YouTube channel, via the social media channels, and get a glimpse into what life is like as a professional football club in the FA Women's Championship. It's all about developing players and maximising the potential, because this is such a good catchment area for talented players, and the high performance culture is something that's being built in the men's team. It's being built in the women's as well, as Blackburn now on the attack, looking to get across in, but that's some good defensive work there from Philby. It's going to be a goal kick. Sampson and Cummings just exchanging a few words there. And there's going to be a substitution. It's going to be the first substitution of the match so far. Gemma Donnelly doing what she can from the sidelines, introducing Chloe Dixon into proceedings there, the number 7 making way. Ball played long. That looks like a foul there. But Wynne keeping the ball alive down that right-hand side. Looks to cut forward. She gets the touch though, that's the main thing, and it's going to be another Charlton corner. Can it be another goal? Can't help but feel like a second would just make things slightly more comfortable, a little bit less nervy, perhaps, for Charlton. And it is going to be Rowe again to take that. Beth Rowe had been a stunning afternoon so far. Really been impressed with her. With 64 minutes on the clock.
Meg, run her in. Meg, run her in.
Bit of movement there from Wynne. Is she going to pick up the ball short? She is. Going to play a quick 1-2 with Rowe. Back to Rutherford now. She's got a left foot wand. She's trying another curling effort. Oh, that was nearly the brace there for Rutherford. That is a wand of a left foot. You never quite know what she's going to produce. And there she goes, doing her defensive duties as well. Fantastic stuff from Ella Rutherford.
Well done.
It's really encouraging to see the hunger across the team as well. Players wanting to get on the ball, the confidence that's oozing across the starting 11. And I do include the keeper in that as well, because being able to play with both feet, being comfortable with your passing range at this level of the game is just so important. A bit of movement on the Charlton bench as well. That's looking to freshen things up. 25 minutes on the clock left to play this afternoon. Thank you again for joining us on Charlton TV. Jess King thinking that's her throw in there. Throws the ball away a little bit. I think Blackburn thinking, is that a bit of unsportsmanship? No, it's not. It is our throw in. She got it right, despite the protests of Jade Richards. They're well picked up there from Skills. Maybe perhaps a little refreshment, an introduction might help Charlton a little bit here. You might be able to pick up on the sidelines there. Let's push more. That's the message from the Charlton bench. Get on the front foot, because it is just the slender 1-goal advantage at the moment. And I don't think I would be unfair in saying that perhaps it could and should be more. And when the scoreline is on a bit of a knife edge as it is currently, a second would go down well for Karen Hills and her coaching staff. Blackburn desperate to get her on the ball there, and the skipper trying to do all that she can. She's going to go in the book for holding on the ball.
Get in!
Nubra not happy with that, but she needs to get back in position and get organised. The decision is made. Unfortunately, when a referee makes a decision, it's very unlikely they change their mind. I tell you what, it's a battle ensuing there. They're going to have to be strong, Charlton. They're going to have to be firm. It's a throw-in taken by the captain towards King, but it's headed away towards goal by Cone. As Blackburn try to make something happen down the left-hand side. Good tackle there from the captain. A long ball forward, and call Wind going up the gears there. Deary me, where did that pace come from? My goodness. She's rapid. She's helped win her team back possession. And although the ball is back with the goalkeeper, that's good. It means that Charlton can reorganise, get some good shape back. Lovely ball there from the keeper. Nice little turn from Nubra. Nubra cuts it back inside. This is good stuff from Charlton. Hughes finding Rutherford. It might be slightly too long. No, it's not. Rutherford keeps the ball in play, drills it on the, oh, drills it along the box there, and my goodness, Megan Wynne came inches from getting a touch there, a touch that it would be hard to think wouldn't have made it to for Charlton. Their lovely, lovely fluid attacking move there from the Addicts. One of their better attacking moves of this second half, that's for sure.
Stay on the pitch, fella. Sorry. What's the habit? Sorry, stay on the pitch. We're trying to keep you on there.
69 minutes on the clock now, heading into the final 20. It's Charlton 1, Blackburn Rovers 0 at the moment. Ella Rutherford's first half strike proving to be the difference so far, but Charlton have come out for this second half wanting more, which is exactly what you would expect from a well-drilled side that have spent the last couple of weeks working away on the training ground. They've got that extra bit between their teeth. It's Philby on the ball, finds Rutherford. Rutherford, a cute little pass inside. It's well read, but Rowe puts pressure on and wins her team the throw-in. Blackburn now just trying to find a means of getting through and past Charlton. Ball still kept in play there. That tenacity proving to pay dividends. I keep thinking the referee's going to blow up, but she's not. She's letting the game flow, and now Rutherford has an opportunity down the left-hand side, plays it back. Good, sensible play there from Charlton. Not being rushed into silly decisions, keeping the ball well. And there's a commentator's curse, isn't there? Just caught out slightly. And they attack now, Blackburn from Compton down the right-hand side, and Sampson reads that well, comes over. It's going to be a throw in there. To be honest, that has been the only time, really, that Blackburn have carved out too much. It's been perhaps mistakes on the part of Charlton. There haven't been too many of them, don't get me wrong. But now Charlton have to defend a throw in. Throw comes in, headed away by Rowe. Richards just trying to carve a pass out, but again it's cleared. King giving chase, and a bit of a foot race there against Richards. The Blackburn centre back doing well, looking really, really composed. It's a foul, but the intentions are good there from Charlton. Just really, really tight marking, a little bit too tight on this occasion, but that press has worked really, really well so far this afternoon. The referee just blows her whistle. Don't think she was happy with where Charlton took that. I did think perhaps she might not be too happy, but there's going to be a change as well for Charlton. Karen Hill's making her first substitution of the afternoon so far with 72 minutes on the clock, and it's Emma Follis who is going to be introduced. She comes on in place of Jess King, who's had a fantastic game for Charlton. Didn't quite get the goal perhaps her performance deserved, but she's worked tirelessly up top for the Addicts.
So one spare.
We're now just trying to clear the ball. It's blocked initially. I think there will be some treatment required. It is a head injury. The captain there, as you would expect, putting her body on the line. Looks a bit of a nasty one. Hopefully nothing too serious for either player. It's an opportunity for the rest of the team to just go and gather towards the bench, receive some instructions now as we enter a really important final, probably 20 minutes including injury time here. Charlton against Blackburn, if you are just joining us. Ella Rutherford's strike is the difference so far. Her first half goal. You can see there, it looks like Newborough will be fine to continue, which is really good news. These head injuries can never ever be taken too seriously. As the Charlton skipper gets back on her feet. It looks fine to continue, which is good news, because she's had a great afternoon in that right pack position. Not a lot has got past her this afternoon. It's been a good afternoon all round so far for Charlton. They've had that international break. reading an interview with Rachel Newborough, the Charlton captain, saying that the international break has given them a chance to regroup, to settle things down a bit, because obviously there was such a euphoric feeling here a few weeks ago, that opening game of the season, the 3-1 victory against Coventry United, even more so because it was the first game as a professional team, and I really cannot overemphasise just how special that is, to see the investment, to see the support, and to be able to reward that with a 3-1 win was magnificent. It was followed by a defeat on the road against a very experienced and well-drilled, physical Durham Athletic side. But it's all about the response, and so far the response has been good from Karen Hills' side. They are 1-0 up here and showing signs of a team that has spent the last couple of weeks on the training ground working hard. Blackburn now, though, just enjoying a good little spell of their own. More time on the ball, which is fine. Charlton are able to soak that up, but they don't want to soak it up too much. Ball hooked to the right-hand side. Rowe reads it well. Rowe playing back now to Sampson. That looks like a foul. And I'm sure now, as we enter the sort of latter stages, the latter quarter of this game, Charlton will just take their time with opportunities like this. Wind the clock down slowly, get organised, get your bodies up the pitch, conserve that energy, and most importantly, keep concentrated. Sampson plays it short to Philby. Philby now driving forwards, hooks the ball into the path of the substitutes. Great first touch there from Follis. Follis to Rowe. Rowe getting the shot away, snatches at it. It's a good block. Rutherford keeps hold of the ball. Switching up feet. It's going to be a throw-in for Charlton. Although the referee is going to brandish a card. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's something that's been said as opposed to something that's been done. The substitution for Blackburn has been made. Lauren Thomas coming on for the visitors as they're trying to find a way back into this game. But for now, Charlton are on course for what would be a very valuable 3 points in the FA Women's Championship. Throw-in comes into Rutherford. Rutherford manages to hook the ball across, but nothing too troubling for Rovers. As Brooks launches the ball long, it's seen all the way there by Godfrey. She gets a touch, it's going to be a throw-in. Very, very long direct play, as you would expect by a team that is chasing the game now. 12 minutes left of normal time. Throw-in comes, it's cleared. Follis looking to get under the ball, it bounces somewhat awkwardly. Richards now coming forwards, released out of that centre-back role, although I think she's going to have to jog back and get back there. Again, perhaps this is something that Charlton could begin to exploit somewhat as Blackburn throw bodies forward. Gaps will emerge on the pitch, and it would be really, really good to get a second to ease nerves as we head into the final 10 minutes. Throw-in is taken, it comes off a Blackburn player. Charlton just slowly but surely creep up the pitch. Follis to Newborough, Newborough back to Follis. To feet is the main key theme here. It's really, really good to see Charlton looking comfortable in all areas, but they don't want to give the ball away, which is exactly what they've done now. Blackburn with a chance on the edge of the box. It falls kindly to number 8, Emma Doyle, but some good goalkeeping there. Doyle putting pressure on Cummings, but that is good goalkeeping, good brave goalkeeping there from Eartha Cummings. She's protecting that clean sheet, all right. Treatment is required though, unfortunately. Saffron Jordan, the player, putting Cummings under pressure. The skipper trying to make anything happen for her team there. It was a strong, firm block. Cummings just needed some treatment. Of course, we do have Sophie Hilliard on the bench if required, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. But like I say, if it's any kind of head injury, It has to be taken seriously, which is exactly what the Charlton medical team are doing right now, assessing Charlton goalkeeper. It's good to be able to see her sit up now. And as she receives treatment, it gives me an opportunity to tell you about upcoming matches for the Addicts, who are away next weekend, travelling to Brighton, who sit top of the FA Women's Super League. They've been a full-time model and outfit for a long time now, have Brighton, leading the way in the women's game. It's a quarter-final of the FA Women's Cup. Games don't get much bigger than that. And then after that, on the 2nd of October, the Addicts travel to recently promoted Watford before coming back here to the Oakwood on the 10th to take on Bristol City. We would love to have your company there, but it's still great to have you tuned in via our online stream here on Charlton TV. And then on the 13th of October, Karen Hills returns to her old team, Tottenham Hotspur, in the Continental Cup. So as I say, it's a real flurry of fixtures now. There's been that international break. Now it's time for the real action. 10 minutes left to play here at Oakwood, plus additional time. Can Charlton find a means of getting a second? Blackburn have proved to be resolute and hard to break down. Charlton have enjoyed a lot of possession. It's a lovely little ball out to the right-hand side there, finding Megan Wynne. I've used a lot of superlatives to describe Wynne's performance, and I'm going to carry on. She's been absolutely sublime. Just giving away the foul there, though, and another yellow card. Hasn't really been a game like that, in all honesty, but Wynne enters the referee's book nonetheless. Wynne, the Welsh international, along with her teammates Megan Wynne and Elise Hughes, all coming back into the starting 11 this afternoon, all playing their part. Megan's start against Coventry was actually her first start since March 2020. Her injury in pre-season meant that she hadn't played a long time, and she does not look like a player that has not played first team football for such a long time. She's recovered really, really well. Crompton now for Blackburn, whips the ball across. That's an important header there from Philby, because the run from the player behind her, lurking about. Charlton now just having to stay firm, having to stay resilient. Got some defending to do from a set piece now. The ball is whipped into the back stick. Oh, there's a flurry of shirts and bundles and bodies going over in the box there. It always feels more frantic when you enter the last final 10 minutes of a football game, but now can Charlton hit on the attack? They can hit on the counter, that's for sure. Wynne down that right-hand side, looks to hook the ball across. She finds Rowe. Can Rowe put this game to bed? Oh, dearie me, the scuffed effort looked like it was going wide, but the block means that Charlton still keep this attack alive, and Rowe there just dismayed, frustrated with herself that she could have put the game to bed there, but she's been absolutely outstanding. And after the shift she's put in to get down the pitch that quickly from a counter-attacking opportunity, I take my hat off to her. She's now got to run and go and take the corner as well. Pivotal moments now for Charlton. This is again another good opportunity just to try and put the game to bed. I've spoken and said it's been a professional performance, and it really has been. But this is a moment to capitalise upon. Rowe drills the ball to Wynne. Wynne there probably needed a bit more power, but the ball finds itself at the feet of Philby, and Godfrey there hits the bar. Oh my goodness, that nearly was the second. Godfrey with her head in her hands, looking to the skies. It was a great strike from the centre back, absolutely rattling the bar there. A lovely little set piece routine from the Addicts. Ball comes into Rowe. She beats the offside trap. No, she doesn't. The referee's flag is up. The whistle goes. Oh my goodness me, I thought that was the game wrapped up there, courtesy of Godfrey. The post helping Blackburn Rovers out on this occasion. Goal kick gives the visitors the chance to push bodies up the pitch. But this time Godfrey with a really strong header. Could it turn into assist? She's certainly set Emma Follis on her way down that left-hand side. Follis waiting for reinforcements, and dear, Hughes just taking a bit too much time there, and the ball is swooped up, but it's regathered again by Charlton. Philby on the ball. Finds Godfrey. Nice little interchange of passes there. And Follis has beaten the offside trap. Can she take the ball around the goalkeeper? She can. Can Follis get the shot? She can! That is it! That is the second from Charlton. It's the substitute making her impact off the bench there. She did ever so well to beat the offside trap. And I think Hannah Godfrey's celebration sums up how we're all feeling. Let's watch that goal again, shall we? Ball coming in there from the middle of the park. A lovely little interchange. Philby finding the run of the substitute Emma Follis, carving her way past the goalkeeper and putting the ball into an empty net to give Charlton a 2-goal advantage. We are into the dying phases of the match here now, and with less than 5 minutes left to play. It's Charlton 2, Blackburn Rovers 0, and just look at the smiles on those Charlton Athletic players' faces. Perhaps even a little bit of relief, because it has been a really professional, all-round display from the whole team this afternoon. And that second goal perhaps just takes a few slight pauses, relaxes the shoulders somewhat, eases the tension a little. Still 5 minutes to play though, and concentration will be required. Rutherford with the ball, gets shirked off it by Blackburn. It's a long direct ball forward. Seen well by Nubra.
Well done, you.
Nubra kicks it down clear, nice and early, and I do think when you have got less than 5 minutes on the clock, that style of defending is absolutely okay. Gets the ball back down the end of the pitch that Charlton want it. It's going to be a throw-in for Blackburn. Hooked by Wynn there. I don't think she will mind that too much.
Elise! Kira! Watch out.
Long goal kick headed away. And credit to the Charlton back four this afternoon, done ever so well, the defensive shape. And shout out to Anna Philby as well, because I think she's had a sterling game in front of that defence. And here she is bombing forward as well. Can she pick out a pass? Referee having her touch here. The referee's going to pause proceedings. It will be a Charlton ball. I think Philby thinks that it's for the foul. I don't think she realises that the referee's calling up because of her touch on the ball, in which case I think it should be a drop kick. But it looks like possession will be given to Blackburn, which is something that Rutherford is debating. Blackburn do have the ball though, it's out on the right-hand side. Good little interchange of passes there. Charlton doing well to force Dixon to play with her back to goal. And that is offside. Fantastic work, fantastic organisation. Sampson's made a real difference in that defence for Charlton this afternoon. There's one more change to be made. Mia Ross coming on for Elise Hughes, the former Blackburn Rovers player. Great shift from her. A really, really competent performance this afternoon, and a good reaction. You know, it wasn't anything knee-jerk losing away to Durham women. They're a very, very good team, but the manager was clear that she wanted a response, and also how important it is to make the Oakwood here a fortress, make it somewhere really difficult for teams to come and play. And I think credit to Charlton, they have done that this afternoon against a good, strong Blackburn Rovers team, who, again, just to remind everyone, are third in the FA Women's Championship. They've beaten some good teams so far this season, and they've done it in style. Sheffield United, Watford, but from the very off, Charlton have been impressive, in possession and out of possession as well. And I think the latter point, out of possession, the shape and organisation when not with the ball at your feet, is equally as important. They haven't really given Rovers much of a sniff as Rutherford now winning possession. Oh, that's a harsh handball call. Probably the right call, but nevertheless a harsh one.
Mia! Keep coming!
Thank you, as we enter the final phases of today's game, for joining me, Charlotte Richardson, for this coverage, courtesy of Charlton TV and the club's YouTube channel. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed what I think you will agree has been a really well-rounded display from Charlton this afternoon. As we wait for the official to tell us how many additional minutes will be played, I suspect maybe around 2 or 3 more minutes. It's just about keeping composed, keeping sensible, and not doing anything silly from a Charlton perspective, which is exactly the kind of pass there from Godfrey you would expect. Keeping hold of the ball, Rutherford there, just launching Rowe down that left-hand side. Is there potentially time for another Charlton goal? Rutherford getting the block there. It's a long cross-field ball into the path of Wynne. Wynne winning her team a corner there, and that's exactly what manager Karen Hills will be wanting at this stage of the game. 90 minutes is now officially on the clock. We are into injury time. Charlton are leading 2-0 against Blackburn Rovers in the FA Women's Championship and are on course to get 3 really important points. Points as well that will help the team climb the table. They do have a game in hand over most teams in the division, but depending upon how results go this afternoon, they could go as high as second. As the ball gets whipped in towards the back stick, the ball is spending a lot of time in the air. Sampson putting a bit of pressure on Brooks there, but she gets 2 strong gloves to it, does the Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper. Just looking at her options, there's no quick counter-attack on, but she will play the ball long and reaching. And Rowe is there on the other flank this side. She's been absolutely everywhere for Charlton this afternoon. A really, really good shift. A good shift from all the girls this afternoon, that's fair to say.
Stand up!
There we go, they're just getting so many red shirts back into the box, doing the defensive duties.
Keep this side.
Now, 85th minute goal from Follis on her debut as well, I should hasten to add.
Keep going.
Really just helping ease the pressure a little bit now for Charlton. I haven't been able to see how many additional minutes from the 4th official, but we will just focus on Charlton seeing out this game in the professional manner in which they've absolutely started it. Really, really impressed from the off. Goal in each half. And a really controlled performance, I think I would say. Do let us know what you think of the Charlton performance this afternoon. You can connect with us on our social media channels. CAFC Women is the handle. And perhaps send your celebratory messages in, dare I say, with seconds left to play.
Last few minutes, Emma. Last few minutes. Last few minutes out.
We are in the dying phases here of this afternoon's FA Women's Championship clash at the Oakwood. First half strike from Ella Rutherford and an 85th minute goal from debutant Emma Follis. Looks to seal 3 important points. And thank you for joining us. Do make sure that you catch all the reaction via our website, our YouTube channel. We're everywhere. We're everywhere covering this team, covering the women's club. The one club that we have here at Charlton Athletic. One club on the up. 2 home games, a point for the boys yesterday and 3 points for the women today. Consolidating and looking to push onwards. There is so much football that you can't help but forget it's still September. A long season ahead, but a very encouraging performance from Charlton this afternoon, and one that I'm sure Karen Hills and her management team will be really pleased, because as I say, the thing that's been so impressive is the organisation and the almost routine manner in which Charlton have gone about their business this afternoon, and that is no accident. That is because of hours spent on the training ground, hours granted courtesy of being a professional football club at this level. Charlton have made sure a strong Blackburn Rovers side have not had anything really go their way this afternoon. I can't recall the keeper having much to do. And there we have it, the full-time whistle here at the Oakwood. Back-to-back wins at home for the Addicts. A first half strike from Ella Rutherford gave the Addicts the momentum in the first period, and the game was wrapped up on the 85th minute with debutant Emma Follis putting the ball into an empty net after a lovely little bit of work and movement. A really, really professional 90 minutes here. Another win on the board in the FA Women's Championship. And let's take another look back at those goals, shall we? Why not? Starting with the opener, Charlton had to be patient. It was a set piece that proved to be the undoing. Ella Rutherford swooping in on the seconds on the outskirts of the box, driving down that left-hand flank with a great little strike that absolutely defeated everyone and curled into the top right-hand corner. It was a deserved lead for Charlton, and in the second period as well, the girls really built on that, consolidated with their possession, created lots of opportunities, but had to wait until the 85th minute with the debutant Emma Follis getting on the end of a lovely little through ball, rounding the keeper to strike the ball into the back of an empty net. And you can see from the grins on the faces of all involved at Charlton just how much that second strike meant, and then just professionalism to see the game out, pick up the 3 points and the clean sheet as well, as the players there just getting together, hugs and high fives all round. A really, really good afternoon for the Addicts, who now turn their attentions to an all-important quarter-final away at Brighton next week, and they will go into that game full of confidence. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company this afternoon on Charlton TV. Hope to see you again very shortly, but for now, let's just enjoy celebrating a fantastic win. It finishes here at the Oakwood, Charlton Athletic 2, Blackburn Rovers 0.
victory.